better you are at communicating your why, people will want to work for you regardless of the opportunity that you afford them. Like, they want to be a part of it.
So you have to know what you want, and you have to start asking for what you want. Now, how do we do it? I'm going to give you 3 tips.
I think the ability to connect and communicate is the #1 criteria for success with your family, with your marriage, with your children, with your friends.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message. Learn to communicate your why. Over to you, Simon Sinek. Also, if you want to hear what Simon Sinek and other successful entrepreneurs have to say about building confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series.
The skill to hold your opinions to yourself until everyone has spoken does 2 things. 1, it gives everybody else the feeling that they have been heard. It gives everyone else the ability to feel that they have contributed. And 2, you get the benefit of hearing what everybody else has to think before you render your opinion.
I once had a client, this is a bunch of years ago, that said, "What guarantee do I have that your stuff will work?" To which my answer was, none. Like, I'm giving you a tool.
Every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a 30-second to 5-minute video for free every morning to help you build unstoppable confidence. The link is in the description below.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
The better you are at communicating your why, people will want to work for you regardless of the opportunity that you afford them. Like, they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
We do a little thing, which we've been doing for years and years and years, called a give and take. Whenever there's any kind of relationship, whether it's an outside partnership or even somebody who joins our team, we do something called a give and take, where we want somebody to be selfish and selfless within the relationship. So not give and get, but give and take. So we'll ask them, what is it that you have to give to us, that you have that you think that we need, right? And they'll tell us. And then we'll say, great, what is it that you selfishly want from us? And we want them to tell us what they can get from us and no one else.
I believe in that so much.
And when those things match, you have a balanced relationship. Because, so for example, I've had it with people. They'll tell me what they have to offer, and that's awesome because that's what I want. And then they'll say what they want to take, and they go, oh, I want to work with smart people. I'm like, plenty of smart people. What is it you want to take from me? They're like, oh, I want to help build something. Wonderful, do that anywhere. What do you want to take selfishly from me that you can get nowhere else? And if they can't answer the question, I want to engage in a relationship, and the reason is because in time, the relationship is unbalanced. They're going to be giving, but they're not taking, and I don't even know how to give them what they want. Then they'll complain they're not making enough money, or because it's not balanced.
That's right.
Know what you want and ask for what you want. Too many people expect the people around them to be mind readers. And this applies to your business, if you have a job, in relationships. Too often you expect the people around you to know exactly what you want, and then you get sad, you get disappointed when you don't get what you want, but it's nobody else's fault but your own. You have to communicate the thing that you want from the people around you. Now, it doesn't mean you're only taking, right? You're giving tons, you're giving and providing tons of value. But if you want the thing that you want, the goal that you have, the more you make it clear to the people around you, the more likely you're actually gonna get it. So the first example that comes to mind is being in a job interview, for some reason for me. So many people are so fake when they get to a job interview. They feel like they have to be on their best behavior, they're not themselves, they get asked questions, it's so vanilla, it's so boring, it's so professional, it's so fake. And then you end up working there and you wonder why you don't enjoy the people around you. Like, so many people end up taking a job and they don't enjoy their coworkers, they don't enjoy their boss, they don't like the people on their team, maybe 1 or 2 people, but net they don't like the culture. And when you went into the room for the interview, you weren't being yourself. And you didn't give yourself permission to be you because you're worried that you wouldn't get the job. But it's better to figure it out on day 1, right? Or on day -1 than 6 months in and then hate your job and hate your life. I see the same thing in relationships, and it's something that Nina and I have had to work on as well. Explaining and expressing the thing that you want. You know, for me, expecting Nina to do something that wasn't on her radar or vice versa is not the path to a healthy relationship, right? Both men and women, we are not mind readers. And so I think we're afraid to ask for what we want. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of putting expectations on ourselves, right? We just want the other person to know. but that's not a realistic scenario, and you're putting too much of your life in somebody else's hands. Don't put what you want in somebody else's hands. You ask for it, you have to express it. And if you don't get it, maybe you're in the wrong business, maybe you're in the wrong career, maybe you're in the wrong job, maybe you're in the wrong relationship. If there's all these things that you need, but you're not getting it from the people around you, that's great, that's great awareness. Now it's time to go off and make a change. So you have to know what you want, and you have to start asking for what you want. Now, how do we do it? I'm gonna give you 3 tips. Number 1 is learn to fear the fake. So often we are afraid of other people's expectations and judgments, how they will treat us, what they'll think of us, that we end up being really fake. We end up being that fake version of ourselves. We end up being that person in a job interview who's just trying to please, but we're not actually being true to ourselves. I'm afraid of the fake. Fear the fake. Because as the real you comes out over 3 months or 6 months or a year, if it's too far out of whack with the people that are around you, you're gonna lose. And that's way more painful than being rejected on day 1. And that applies with customers, it applies with relationships, it applies with careers. I've learned this the hard way with my business. If you want to work with a company and everything looks good on paper, but you're not actually being authentic, you're not actually saying, here's what I need in a relationship, here's the kind of video that I want to make, working with big brand name clients, here's the video that I want to make. If you don't express that and if they don't agree with you, you're going to end up doing videos that you don't like. You're going to end up taking on projects that you don't want to do. And you're spending 3, 6 months, 12 months working on this project. And it's going to eat you up because you're doing the thing that you don't want to do. But it's all your fault because you were fake on day 1. So instead of fearing the rejection, fear the fake. Tips number 2 and 3 go to the leader. Because as much as we're talking about taking personal responsibility for what we want in our life, it's also your job as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as you build up your team, to try to pull out what people want from the people who are around you. To pull out their dreams, their ambitions, their aspirations, and give them the air cover, give them the permission to share what they really want with you. So tip number 2 is book one-on-one time with each team member. For some people on my team, I do it quarterly. For some people, I do it monthly. It's probably not even enough, to be honest. But booking one-on-one time with everybody who has to do with your company, whether it's key suppliers, employees, contract workers, the people around you, every month or every week or every quarter, spending time with them to understand what they want out of life. Are they happy with what they're doing? How can they grow? What ideas do they have? And doing it in a non-judgmental way. Doing it in a way where they feel free and open. As the boss, you will never get 100%. You will never get 100% honesty and authenticity. Even if you feel you have the most open door policy in the world, like, please tell me anything, I want to help, I want to be the best boss ever, they still won't tell you everything. But if you come in and say, okay, what do you want? How can we make this better for you? If you're coming in with a judgmental tone, if it's that kind of architecture, then they're not likely really going to share with you their real concerns. But spending time, too often I think we spend time only talking about projects, only talking about what has to get done. We're so locked into operations mode. You don't spend enough time as a leader getting to know the people on your team and what they want out of life and how that might be changing with time and seeing if you can actually provide that for them in this company or not. So book one-on-one time with everybody on your team. And tip number 3 as a leader is follow them on social. I love following the people on my team on social. Don't stalk them, don't be like Big Brother and look for the negative. People, when I say that, follow them on social, they immediately jump to the negative. Oh, my boss is looking at my content and you know, you're gonna be Big Brother watching over me. First off, they're putting out content that's public. And if not, you're gonna be the one who's given permission to look at their content if it's a private Instagram account. And second, just be a friend. Like, there's so much upside. People focus only on the negative. There's so much upside in following your people on social media to understand what they're doing, what they love, who their friends are, what kind of music they like, what they do in their downtime. And then commenting, they put a fun picture up, give them a smiley face, say, hope you had a great weekend. Like, be their friend. The closer they feel to you, the more likely they're gonna share with you their deepest, darkest concerns. And that builds the relationship to allow you to create a better position for them. And so I strongly recommend for everybody on your team that you start following them on social, you make it part of your daily routine. For me, I have a tab that I load every morning in my Chrome that is everybody's Facebook feed from the people on my teams, and I just see what they're up to, and I'll try to give it a thumbs up, I'll try to leave it a comment. As the team grows, it becomes harder and harder to do it. But the most important people in your company, you want to be following them on social, build that connection with them so that they know that you're on their side. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is one conversation that you need to have with somebody to better express what you want out of that relationship, what you need to have happen leave it down in the comments below, and hopefully by putting it down below, it releases it. It gives you the confidence and courage to actually go out and have that difficult conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of Entspresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going.
Connecting increases your influence in every situation. For the foundation of the teaching today, I want to make sure that we really have a grasp of why connecting with people is so vital. So if you'll go to the very first sentence in your note, the number one criteria for advancement and promotion for professionals is an ability to communicate effectively. That I do believe. I think the ability to connect and communicate is the number one criteria for success with your family, with your marriage, with your children, with your friends, in the workplace, the marketplace, in the community. If you have the ability to connect with people, if you can communicate and connect, not just communicate, it takes you and literally gives you and I a decided edge over others in the advancement of what we're trying to accomplish. For example, in your notes, presidential historian Robert Dallek says that successful presidents exhibit 5 skills and qualities that enable them to achieve things that others don't. So he's talking about leaders and presidents and people. What makes some achieve better than others? Here's the 5 things they do well. Number 1 is vision. Number 2, pragmatism. Number 3, consensus building. The ability to put together a team and get consensus. Number 4, charisma. And number 5, trustworthiness. Being a trustworthy kind of a person. Now, what is interesting about these five things that set the better presidents apart from maybe the average ones, 4 of the 5 deal with connecting. Vision is definitely a connecting skill, the ability to cast a future vision. Consensus building, getting people to work together. You have to be able to connect to do that. Charisma, of course, that's why people follow the quote, the Pied Piper, and trustworthy. 4 of the 5 of the skills needed to be successful as a leader had a lot to do with connecting. So let me define connecting, because that's what this book is all about. Connecting is the ability to identify with people and relate to them in such a way that it increases our influence with them. In other words, we can identify with them until they say, he or she understands exactly what I know and what I'm going through, and we can relate with them until because of that ability, we begin to increase our influence with them. And of course, what do I teach about leadership? Very simple, leadership is influence.
Altruistic, world domination, honey empire, right?
I'm grateful. I understand why I'm here.
I think because I am so open.
I want you to think and say, it's a bloody brief life.
All of you have the potential for enormous success.
If you want to know what GaryVee, DJ Khaled, Oprah, and others know about empire building that most people miss, check out the link in the description for a free bonus video.